Quaking. Quaking is to shake or tremble in uncertainty when the ground beneath your feet isn't familiar. This is the time we're in. We're in a time of quaking. So in these times of quaking, there's so many different perspectives, so many different ways of seeing the same thing. If you look at this slide, you'll wonder, what is that? It kind of looks like an eyeball. If you look a little closer, those are all people in a park in downtown Chicago. How about that perspective? That's very different. So I want to tell you a story. I'm going to do it by telephone, because these are conversations that I've had in the last year. Dave, it's your friend. I've been arrested at the White House in Washington, D.C. We had to stop that Canadian pipeline. Dave, I met you in Prince Rupert. I want you to know that we're serious. There will be no pipeline on our traditional territories. Dave, we have the rights to do this project, to drill this well. Why are all these people in our way? We're doing what we're supposed to do. Dave, my family has owned these lands for the last 75 years. How do I stop this change from happening? Dave, not over my dead body. Pretty emotional, pretty specific. And how do we get there? We're taught, we learn that strength is taking a position, putting your stake in the ground. Well, I've learned that there's something else. About a year ago, I've coined a term called mediates. And mediates are those special interest groups on all sides, in the media and in the world, who subscribe to narrow, exclusive, one-dimensional thinking, who cast fear, separation, and misunderstanding in their pronouncements on current events and issues to serve their narrow interests. We're very good as a society, in the media, in our groups and our associations, of staking our claim, drawing our line in the sand. What working together is all about, what Synergy Alberta is all about, is saying, before we go there, why don't we come together? So who will save us? Well, Flash Gordon. Well, and that's my grandson, Quinn. That's not Sarah. But we look for superheroes to save us. That hasn't worked either. It just doesn't work. The 200 plus people in this room and the people in the world, how about if we take back control of the decisions around our communities, our organizations, our families? Let's do that. Let's get away from being driven by the shallow stuff that we see pronounced and read about and see in the news. Let's turn that off. So how do we get there? Through collaboration, working together, and co-creation. Co-creation is a place where what I believe is right and what you believe is right can be two different things. But when we listen to each other, we can find out something much bigger. So, from this wisdom, I look at some of the work that I've been part of. I know that each one of you has been part of this because you're here. But some of the work that I've been part of, in 1986, I started drawing together ranchers, youth, First Nations, environmentalists, oil women, to talk about things before they got into conflict. Those circles, those round tables, those synergy groups worked because it was never about reaching agreement or agreeing on any one particular thing. It's only about listening and hearing each other. And what qualities do we bring? What qualities do we bring to working together, to our circles, to our round tables? Qualities like curiosity. Qualities about, I want to hear you first before you hear me. Openness. A willingness to say, in this day and age, our collaborative wisdom can create such significant outcomes. And in what frame do we use? So the frame, if we're not about positions or immediate-based interest, shallow, positional, what's the frame that we should use? Sustainability. And sustainability is all of sustainability, not one part of sustainability. The elements of sustainability include environment, social, economic, human, intellectual, natural sustainability. So this is big work. This is big work. If we embrace all of those elements of sustainability as the frame for our collaborative conversations, this is important. And that's why the people that do this work, like the people in this room, can do the big work. So what I would say is, whether it's working together, whether it's convening a campfire, this has been done for thousands of years. King Arthur and the Round Table, peace tables at the United Nations. They're circles. They're not squares, they're not rectangles. And what if we came together to see each other for the first time? What if we did that? Now, I want to draw a little geography, a physical geography here. Oftentimes, each one of us, we receive or give hard lines. This is my line in the sand. And what happens when we do that? Most of the time we can figure it out. Sometimes conflict brings us together. But some of the times, then we put ourselves in little boxes. Little boxes. Little boxes like the Energy Resources Conservation Board. Little boxes like the National Energy Board. Little boxes like court. I call them little boxes because they exclude relationship. They exclude us from making the decision. They put somebody else in charge, and they will figure it out. They will do the right thing. Our regulatory boards and courts, I'm proud of, they are the best in the world, but they're still little boxes. I say come together at the campfire, at the circle, at the round table. Get away from those hard lines. Get away from the little boxes. Think about a circle. Think about the globe as a circle. Include every diverse perspective. Those people that dislike me the most have got the most to teach me. It's my job to listen. So, when will we come together? Well, many of you recognize the 13th century Persian poet Rumi. He spoke a very brilliant line that speaks to us today. There is a field beyond right and wrong. I'll meet you there. Do you hear that? That's wisdom. There is a field beyond right and wrong. I'll meet you there. Let's meet beyond me being right or me being wrong. So when will we come together? When will we work together? When will we collaborate to surpass and overcome the great challenges we have? Now. When is now? Thank you.